Well, for that, we turn to ABC political consultant Tori Clark, veteran campaign watcher Sam Donaldson. They're going to be standing by because we're also going first to Fox News pollster, author of the book Words That Work, Frank Luntz, who is with us this morning. And he had a focus group last night. Frank, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
So you had 23 undecided voters, as we call them, movable voters here. First of all, give me the headline. How did they change last night? What did they say after the debate?
Well, I'll tell you something behind the scenes. With the debate half over, they were leaning overwhelmingly to John McCain. But because of the health care issue, the abortion issue, and how strong Obama closed, Barack Obama won our 23 people and even moved 4 people to go from undecided to support him. John McCain didn't pick up any support last night.
Oh, really? Well, let me take a look at the biggest hits on both sides, because you do that people leader kind of thing, which we all get transfixed watching. The biggest moment, I gather, for Senator McCain was the one that we've heard, where he talks about not being President Bush. Here it is.
I am not President Bush. If you wanted to run against President Bush, you should have run 4 years ago. I'm going to give a new direction to this economy in this country.
So we saw both of those meters going up. Is that a big win for him?
It was very important. What's interesting about undecided voters is that they're not ideological and they're not partisan. And so they tend to follow the mood of the campaign. And so when John McCain looked at Obama directly and said, "Stop referring to me as the previous president," the voters said, absolutely, that's a legitimate thing to say.
And on the other side for Senator Obama, we gather that the meters tracked down when Senator McCain started talking about Bill Ayers and Acorn and all these other things, and tracked up for Senator Obama when he waited and said, I don't think voters care about that. Here it is.
Would love to see the next 3 weeks devoted to talking about the economy, devoted to talking about healthcare, devoted to talking about energy, and figuring out how the American people can send their kids to college. And that is something that I would welcome.
So was that a big win for Senator Obama?
This is important. They believe that the associations, Barack Obama's associations, the people that he talks to, it's a legitimate issue. But even more important to the American people, what's going to happen to taxes? What's going to happen to the economy, to my job? The public is saying, I'm afraid, I'm nervous. Tell me what you're going to do, not for the economy, what you're going to do for me.
Which brings us to 2 issues that were raised, I think, for the first time last night: education and Roe versus Wade, the question of abortion. Let me start with education, because the 2 candidates disagree on some particulars, vouchers and other things. But they did agree that money alone is not going to solve it. It's personal responsibility, too. Let's play a clip.
Where we take good teachers and we reward them and promote them, and we find bad teachers another line of work. Throwing money at the problem is not the answer.
Unfortunately, they left the money behind for No Child Left Behind.
That was just the beginning of that conversation. Who won the round on that?
By a very small margin, Barack Obama, Obama talks like a governor and John McCain talks like a senator. McCain talks more in terms of policy. Barack Obama talks more in terms of people, and that gives Obama the edge.
And what about Roe versus Wade, where they do have wide disagreements, as they pointed out last night, with Senator McCain saying he'd like it returned to the states, when I guess, in effect, will overturn Roe versus Wade, and Senator Obama being challenged by Senator McCain, particularly on late-term abortions?
I am completely supportive of a ban on late-term abortions, partial birth or otherwise, as long as there's an exception for the mother's health and life.
Just again, the example of the eloquence of Senator Obama. He's health of the mother. You know, that's been stretched by the pro-abortion movement in America to mean almost anything. That's the extreme pro-abortion position, quote, health.
And what about that, Frank?
Yes, actually, Obama did well on that because of Barack Obama's eloquence. In fact, that's the only time that we've ever tested where Republicans and Democrats have agreed with the presidential candidate on abortion, both sides. The way that Obama projected it, he actually attempted, and in our group, succeeded in finding a middle ground when it comes to abortion.
All right, well, we thank you so much, and thanks to your group and your little squiggly lines, as I say, which we can't stop watching. But for us this morning, better than squiggly lines, our own Sam Donaldson.